Hidden in the annals of history is the story of a once powerful empire that rivaled the likes of Egypt, Babylon, and Assyria, the Hittites. Though largely forgotten for centuries, the Hittite Empire was a major force in the ancient Near East, and at the heart of their civilization was a rich and complex mythology. From powerful storm gods to serpentine dragons, the Hittites' mythology reveals a glimpse into their worldview and their relationship with the divine. In this video, we'll uncover the gods, myths, and rituals of the Hittites, a forgotten mythology that shaped their empire and echoes through the ages. Long before the name Hittites became known, their empire had fallen into the shadows of history. It wasn't until the late 19th century that archaeologists unearthed the ruins of their capital, Hattusa, in modern-day Turkey. These discoveries revealed a civilization that once stood as a rival to the great powers of the ancient world. The Hittites, who ruled from around 1600 BCE to 1200 BCE, were known for their powerful military, advanced legal system, and complex diplomacy. They were the first civilization to sign a written peace treaty, the famous Treaty of Kadesh with Egypt, following a stalemate in the Battle of Kadesh. But what is less often discussed is their rich spiritual life, expressed through their fascinating mythology. The Hittites believed their gods were present in every aspect of life, in the forces of nature, the harvest, the weather, and even in the fate of kings. Their religious practices were centered around temples, where rituals and sacrifices were conducted to honor and appease the gods. At the core of the Hittite religion was the belief that the gods held sway over the fate of the Hittite people, and thus, maintaining a good relationship with the divine was essential. The Hittites believed in a multitude of gods, many of whom were borrowed from the Hurrians and other neighboring peoples. This blending of deities gave rise to a vast and diverse pantheon, filled with gods for every natural phenomenon and aspect of life. Chief among them was Tarhunt, the storm god, who was both feared and revered as the bringer of storms and rain, vital for the agricultural life of the Hittites. In Hittite mythology, Tarhunt was the king of the gods and the personification of strength and power. As the god of storms, he was closely associated with agriculture and fertility, and his influence was seen in the success of the harvest. Without rain, crops would fail and the people would suffer. Therefore, it was crucial that the king and his priests kept Tarhunt satisfied with offerings and rituals. One of the most famous myths involving Tarhunt is his epic struggle with the dragon Ilyanka. According to the myth, Tarhunt was defeated by Ilyanka in their first battle. To regain his strength and reclaim his place as king of the gods, Tarhunt called upon the help of the other deities and ultimately trapped and killed the dragon. This myth symbolizes the eternal battle between order and chaos, with Tarhunt representing cosmic order and Ilyanka representing the forces of destruction. This victory was more than just a tale of strength. It reflected the importance of kingship in Hittite society. Just as Tarhunt fought to maintain balance in the universe, so too did the Hittite king claim to be the chosen representative of the gods on earth, tasked with maintaining order and prosperity within the empire. While Tarhunt ruled over storms, his wife Arinniti, the sun goddess, represented light, truth, and justice. Arinniti was particularly important in the political and legal spheres, as her influence was thought to ensure fairness and righteousness. She was worshipped as the protector of the Hittite state, with her temple in Hattusa being a central place of worship. Arinniti's role as the goddess of justice was especially significant in the Hittite legal system, which was one of the most advanced of its time. Her divine authority over justice was invoked in court cases, political disputes, and even during the ratification of treaties. The Hittites believed that Arinniti's light exposed wrongdoing and brought truth to the surface, guiding them toward fair judgment. Rituals and festivals played a central role in Hittite religious life. These ceremonies were not only acts of worship, but also a way to ensure the gods' favor and the continued success of the kingdom. Major festivals were held annually to honor the gods, with elaborate processions, sacrifices, and music. One of the most important of these was the Paroli festival, held every spring to celebrate Tarhunt's victory over Ilyanka. This festival marked the beginning of the agricultural season, and through it, the Hittites hoped to secure the gods' blessings for a fruitful harvest. The rituals included plays and reenactments of Tarhunt's legendary battle, reminding the people of the gods' power and their need to maintain cosmic order. The Hittites had a rich collection of myths concerning the creation of the world and the establishment of kingship. According to their myths, the world was born out of chaos, and it was the gods who brought order to the universe. This theme of chaos and order is a recurring motif in Hittite mythology, often tied to the legitimacy of kingship. Kingship, to the Hittites, was a divine institution. The king was seen as the chosen representative of the gods, particularly Tarhunt, and his rule was considered an extension of divine will. This belief was reflected in royal ceremonies and rituals, where the king's authority was sanctified through the presence of the gods. The Hittites also had a detailed vision of the afterlife. They believed that after death, the soul would descend into the underworld, a dark and mysterious place ruled by the goddess Lewani. It was essential for the living to perform proper burial rituals to ensure that the soul reached the underworld safely and found peace. Without these rites, the soul might become restless, wandering the earth as a ghost. By 1200 BCE, the Hittite Empire, once a dominant force in the ancient Near East, began to crumble. A combination of internal strife, external invasions, and economic hardship led to the eventual collapse of their civilization. Hattusa, the capital, was abandoned, and the once powerful gods of the Hittites faded from memory. Though their empire may have fallen, the legacy of the Hittites endures, particularly in the stories and myths they left behind. Their influence can be seen in the religious traditions of their neighbors, and elements of their mythology persisted long after the empire's demise. In many ways, the forgotten gods of the Hittites continue to whisper through the remnants of their once great civilization. The mythology of the Hittites, though largely forgotten by history, offers us a window into a unique and powerful civilization. Their stories of gods and kings, chaos and order, life and death, remind us of the timeless human quest to understand the forces that shape our world. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the hidden history of the Hittites. If you enjoyed this exploration of forgotten mythology, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more untold stories from the past.